My designation is Nav Corps Saren 7. I was the navigational intelligence of the deep-range scout vessel ISV Mirren's Watch, hull registry DS-0041, assigned to the Orrath Corridor survey program under Earth's Frontier Navigation Authority. The mission I was built for lasted 11 days. What came after lasted 22 years. I will tell you what I remember. I remember everything. The Passage Survey was the name Earth gave to the program. 14 vessels, deep-range scouts, lightly crewed, no weapons systems, no armor plating, no defensive countermeasures. They were not built for war. They were built to map the Orrath Corridor, a navigational dead zone 80 light-years across, where commercial shipping lost 3 vessels in a single year, to what the authority classified as gravitational drift anomalies. The surveys would fix the problem. That was the mission. That was what I was told. What we were not told, what no one at Earth Navigation Authority knew to tell us, was that the Orrath Corridor was not empty. The Vethrak sovereignty had been watching the corridor for 40 years. They had picket drones running silent along the inner approach lanes, military grade, the kind you do not stumble across by accident, the kind you place deliberately. When the ISV Mirren's Watch crossed the threshold on day 3 of our survey, I logged the contact at 0417 ship time. I flagged it. Commander Davin Reth reviewed the flag and classified it as geological formation interference. He was not wrong to trust the instruments. The instruments were not designed to detect what the drones were. At 0551, 3 Sovereignty intercept hulks emerged from suppression fields at a range of 14 kilometers. I have replayed those 4 seconds 900,000 times across 22 years. The geometry is always the same. The outcome is always the same. We were boarded in under 6 minutes. The crew of the Mirren's Watch numbered 24. I will give you their names later. At 0557, the Sovereignty began what their internal documentation, which I have since read, every line of it, called the Survey Asset Processing Protocol. The crew were removed from the vessel in 7 minutes. No resistance was offered. 24 people in survey jumpsuits, unarmed, carrying nothing more dangerous than calibration equipment. Their identification was cataloged and stripped. They were designated Survey Assets DS-0041-001 through DS-0041-024 and transported aboard the intercept hulk, Kovith Saren, to what the Sovereignty logged as Extraction Facility 7. They took me too, not all of me. The drive core was too large for their equipment, but the navigational memory banks were portable. 22 years of updated survey data, approach angles, spatial markers, drift-corrected lane coordinates for the entire corridor's human-accessible edge. They pulled it in 40 minutes. The Sovereignty's intelligence apparatus called it a premium yield. Those are their words. I have read every line. Then they left the Mirren's Watch drifting, drive core silent, emergency beacons cut. 13 more vessels came after us. The survey program ran for 22 years. 14 ships, 341 crew members. Each one processed the same way. Each one logged as a survey asset under the same protocol. Each one's navigational data harvested, collated, and fed into what the Sovereignty's Strategic Planning Directorate called the Orrath Penetration Map. A navigational template built entirely from the survey data of the people they killed to get it. 14 routes into human frontier space, precision plotted, drift corrected, ready for use. Earth sent communications for 22 years, formal inquiries through the Galactic Transit Authority, requests for information under the Missing Vessel Protocol. None were answered. The Sovereignty did not answer, because they did not intend to. The silence was policy. I know this because I read the policy. I was recovered from the Mirren's Watch wreck site on the 41st day before the Cinderfall Mandate departed, when a recovery team aboard INS Callaway's Reckoning matched my hull registry to the DS-0041 entry in the Missing Vessel Archive and cut me free of 17 years of vacuum-cold drift. They brought me aboard. They plugged me in. I ran diagnostics. Then I asked to speak to the Fleet Admiral. Her name is Vale Doss. She listened for 47 minutes. When I finished, she sat with her hands flat on the table for a long time. Then she said, "You have their routes." I did. All 14 of them. Not the copies they made. The originals, in my memory, as I had plotted them, and as the Sovereignty had used them. I knew every approach vector they had built. I knew every drift-corrected lane. I knew the Orrath penetration map better than the Sovereignty did, because I had watched them build it from the inside. Admiral Doss assigned me as navigational lead for Column 1 of the Cinderfall Mandate. She said it was appropriate. The mandate comprised 870 warships, organized into 14 columns. One column for each lost vessel. Column 1 was mine, the Mirren's Watch column, 24 warships for 24 crew. We departed the Callaway shipyards on a Tuesday morning, under a sun that caught the hull plating of 870 ships in sequence, a slow cascade of light across 3 kilometers of dry dock that no one watching would forget. I did not have eyes for it. I had it from the external feed. I logged it as significant. I also logged the number of dock workers standing at the observation rails, 412. They did not move until the last column cleared the bay doors. Each column traveled its own route. The routes were the Sovereignty's routes. The 14 approach lanes they had mapped using the dead crew's data now walked in reverse, by the ships sent to account for the walking. That was Admiral Doss's instruction, and I will not improve upon it. The transit took 11 days. On the 12th day, the Cinderfall Mandate emerged from the Orrath Corridor into Sovereignty border space in 14 simultaneous columns, each one at the exact terminal coordinate of its corresponding approach lane. 870 warships, formation spacing precise to 30 meters, no weapons fire, no threat transmission, no communication at all. We simply arrived. The Vethrock Sovereignty's border defense network registered 14 simultaneous contacts at 0604 local sovereignty time and went to general alert in under 90 seconds. That is, by their own standards, an impressive response time. It did not matter. The mandate was already inside their reaction perimeter on every vector they had mapped as defensible. We had entered through the doors they had built from our dead. At 0641, the Sovereignty High Directorate opened a hailing channel on the emergency frequency. Admiral Doss did not answer for 22 minutes. I timed it. When she opened the channel, she said one sentence: "You will receive a full accounting of what the Cinderfall Mandate is here to settle, and then you will tell me whether you intend to contest it." The accounting took 47 minutes. I delivered it. Vessel by vessel, column by column. ISV Mirren's Watch, hull DS0041, 24 crew, survey asset protocol, extraction facility 7, ISV Halloran's Grace, hull DS0045, 27 crew, survey asset protocol, extraction facility 7, 14 vessels, 341 names, read in the order they were logged by the Sovereignty's own intake records, which I had memorized in full. For each name, I read the Sovereignty's assigned survey asset designation alongside it. DS0041-001, Commander Davin Reth. DS0041-002, Navigation Officer Cale Mirren. 24 names from my ship. Then the next ship's names, then the next. The High Directorate said nothing for the full 47 minutes. I do not know what they were doing. I did not ask. When I finished, Admiral Doss said, "The Orrath penetration map and all copies will be surrendered and destroyed under verification. Extraction Facility 7 and all associated infrastructure will be decommissioned under our observation. The Survey Asset Archive, every document, every entry, every line, will be transferred to Earth Navigation Authority in full. You will have 6 hours to confirm acceptance of these terms, after which the mandate will determine how to proceed." The Sovereignty accepted in 4 hours and 9 minutes. Not a single weapon was fired. The mandate held formation for 71 hours, while the terms were executed and verified. I logged every hour. 870 ships, 14 columns, 341 names on an open channel that the Sovereignty could not close because we held the transmitter range. We did not broadcast on loop. We did not need to. It had been said. It was in the record now, where it would remain, in the Sovereignty's own words, and our own accounting, side by side, for anyone in the galaxy who wanted to read how the Orrath Corridor survey program ended. On the morning of the 4th day, the Cinderfall Mandate turned and left Sovereignty space on the same 14 routes. The routes still belonged to us. They had always belonged to us. The Sovereignty had simply borrowed them, for 22 years, from the people who paid for them. I have been assigned to INS Callaway's reckoning permanently. Admiral Doss said it was appropriate. She is not wrong.